Hey everybody, I wanted to do this quick video because I've been obsessing over the song lately and this one like 5-second drum fill that Will Calhoun does in Cult of Personality. And I've been playing the song in cover bands for like the last 10-15 years, and I realized I was not playing it right. And I mean, I was almost there, but there was just some stuff that was missing that I didn't hear till I got a hold of the original drum tracks. And it was pretty eye-opening. I watched a couple videos online, and there's definitely some strange interpretations, but there's definitely a very wrong way to play it, and there's definitely a closer way to play it and get by. And I think that's what I've been doing. And but anyway, if you played the song and you're a drummer, you know exactly the fill I'm talking about. It's this one. Okay, so maybe everyone knows how to play that, and awesome. But I just learned how to do it, and I wanted to share because there's definitely some notes that you cannot hear in the original recording at all. And like I said, I was doing like a 3/4 of the version of this, but there's definitely some notes that you can't hear, and I wanted to share that with you. So if you have no idea how to play this fill at all, I came up with just 2 steps that can kind of get you there, and the third one is the final version. But the music that is up is just, I think, the easiest first step, and that's just thinking it's just a rock beat for the 2 beats there, beats 1 and 2, and then for beats 3 and 4, you just want to think sextuplets. Okay, so if you just played the whole rhythm, if you played 2 beats of 8th notes and then 2 beats of sextuplets, it would be like this. So if you just broke those down and took out most of those notes and just played the ones that are written there, you're playing beat 3, you're playing the 3rd 16th of a sextuplet, and then you're playing the next 3rd 16th and the next 3rd 16th of the sextuplet, and finally the last 16th of the sextuplet, just with the foot alone, and I'll explain that in a second. So then it's just this, really. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that gets you into the kind of feel for it. So then if you applied it to the kit, it would just be this. So one of the things that I noticed that was definitely wrong is what jazz players would definitely not do in a jazz setting, and that's this. Accenting a fill like on the beat like that. It would be more of this feel right here. It's upbeats, it's more hip. If you play the other way, you probably get fired. But that's the basis of what Will Calhoun is playing in the song. That just comes out of nowhere, and he's playing basically just a straight up rock tune, and you know, he's definitely more versatile than just playing rock, and you can tell by this one fill that he's way deeper of a drummer than you might have heard in the rest of the song. But it's crazy. So that's why I'm just so infatuated with this fill, and always have been. So if you think of it like that, upbeats, not on the beats, then you're already off to a good start. So the first way again would be The other thing is to make sure that that last beat is only with the bass drum. And you'll see why after we start incorporating the notes that are coming up in step 2. So step 2, we're filling in the last beat, beat 4, with these grace notes. And all that is I'll just play it first. So this is where it would just be straight up harder to play the last 3 16th notes on the snare as opposed to the last third on the bass drum. It would be more common to just do a crash with the bass drum instead, because then you would have to do something like this. It's a lot of notes to try to play subtly. That's why that bass drum note just fits in perfect. It's very hip. So that's all that is for step 2 is filling in beat 4 with the sextuplet, those grace notes. And I stress, grace notes. They have to be subtle and not accented like beat 2 is, and that syncopation on beat 3. So just try to make sure to keep those ghost notes down on beat 4. And then we're off to the full figure, which is a little bit more complicated. Because what I was doing was step 2, because that's what I heard in the album, the full recording. But it seems weird that there would be a space like that. Because there is no space. In the isolated drum track, there's actually these ghost notes that are going on, as you can see, and it kind of blew my mind, honestly. And I had to figure out how to actually execute them, because the sticking that I wrote in is really the only sticking I could figure out that just made it really lay easily. Because if you ignore the sticking and try to do doubles with your left, if you were going to do that, you would have to play right on beat 3 and then 2 lefts, which is very possible. But then adding more lefts after that would be incredibly difficult, especially at this tempo. So one version would be to do what's not written here, because I don't think it should be done this way. It would be right, left, left, right, left. But it makes it 10 times simpler to just play alternating on that first half of beat 3 and come over from the hi-hat to the snare. Also, don't forget about that extra accent, or I'm sorry, the extra ghost note at the end of beat 2. So that's when you have to start shifting into septuplet mode. So you have to start switching into sextuplet mode from the end of beat 2. That note at the end of beat 2 is not a regular 16th note and a duple feel, because that would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 1. It's this. And it's a grace note, so it should be soft. Hear the difference between duple feel and sextuplet? Okay, so then beat 3 is with the right hand, and then you're just going to alternate left hand ghost to the accent on the snare, and that sets you up for the doubles that flow right after. So starting just on beat 3, starting at beat 1, finishing out the phrase, up to speed, one more time. So I think the most important thing is just knowing where those extra ghost notes are now, which you can see on the music. Leaving a big difference between the ghost notes and the accents so that it just has that feel. If your ghost notes are too loud, then there's not going to be a lot of difference. You want to make a big difference between the ghosts and the regular notes or the accents. And then really trying to keep the sextuplets even, especially with your foot. That could be kind of tricky. You can try playing a crash cymbal at the end on the last 16th. That might feel a little bit easier, but try to just leave out that note on the top and just play the foot instead. And that's what I'm pretty convinced that Will Calhoun is doing in Cult of Personality. And if you want to check out the whole song, I just did a cover of it, and I'll put the link in this video. I appreciate you watching. I hope this helps. And please let me know if something is unclear and I completely botched what I was talking about. And thank you very much for watching.